On Friday, the SEC rejected a pure play Bitcoin ETF. Now, we know there's two Bitcoin futures ETFs trading. Another one's going to come this week. But a short while ago, Invesco decided to withdraw its Bitcoin futures application. Can you tell us why you made that decision?
Sure thing, Bob. We made that decision because after studying the market for Bitcoin futures and looking at the current market environment, we just concluded that it is not the right time to bring a product like that to market. As you may appreciate, the market for Bitcoin futures is in contango, which means it's really expensive to roll the futures. We did a rough back on the envelope math. It may erode 60 to 80 to 90 basis points of performance when we roll the futures. And we just thought, unless you can align the returns of the funds to the returns of the underlying commodity, this is probably something that is not ripe for the market today. This is what drove our decision, but we are fully committed to the pure play ETF.
You know, Dave, Van Eck is launching their Bitcoin futures ETF this week. I mean, that's three Bitcoin futures ETF we have now. Is Anna right? Is that more than enough players? I mean, Anna's concerns about costs and tracking issues, they certainly seem to be sound to me.
Well, if all we're going to do is get beta 1 exposure to something like the front month futures, we don't need 10 products doing that. I think there's plenty of room for a little price competition. That's what the Van Eck product is. It's 30 basis points cheaper than the two that launched a little bit earlier last month. So yeah, a little price competition I think is a good thing, but we definitely don't need another 10 of these. So a little caution here is probably warranted.
You know, Dave, the SEC rejected the pure play Bitcoin ETF on the exact same grounds they always have. They can't prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts, is the standard quote. Is there anything that can cure this complaint, this long-standing complaint?
Sure, comprehensive crypto regulation, but I don't think we're going to get there in a real hurry. Coinbase came out with what I thought was a pretty solid proposal a couple weeks ago, really asking Washington to give them a single regulator, probably a new regulator that's not the SEC, that's not the CFTC. Now, whether we get that or something else, I think until we get clear regulation of the underlying coin markets themselves for U.S. investors, I just don't think we're going to cross that hurdle. So I think a real solid, physical Bitcoin ETF is probably at least a year off at this point.
Yeah, Dave's pretty pessimistic, but I have to say everything so far indicates Gensler is not going to do anything absent clear regulatory control over important areas of the crypto space, Anna. So your thoughts on this? What are the chances for a pure play Bitcoin ETF in 2022?
Well, I believe that 2022 is going to be the year for the pure play Bitcoin ETF for no reason other than it is a matter of customer protection, investor protection. You cannot really limit access to markets by investors, and today investors can buy pure play Bitcoin ETFs in the private market. They can buy it in Europe, they can buy it in Canada. So withholding that type of access here in the U.S. does not do anything to protect the same investors that the SEC is worried about. So I do believe in regulation. I do believe that Gensler is committed to providing an environment in which all those risks are going to be listed. And I do think that 2022 is going to be the year for a pure play ETF. And it's probably wishful thinking.
Yeah, I guess the problem is you take Gensler at his face value. If he's not going to get comprehensive legislation that clearly indicate who controls what, it's unlikely he's going to move. I think we're at an impasse here, and we need comprehensive legislation. I'm in Dave's camp on this one.